juliedavison.com. Welcome to my 12 Days of Christmas video series. It's kind of a misnomer. I keep saying this every day, but if you're watching for the first time, I just want you to know that my 12 Days of Christmas video series is not Christmas projects. We are doing some sneak peeks from the brand new the brand new January through April mini catalog plus the celebration brochure. In fact, I have a little celebration sneak peek for you. If you're not familiar with celebration, it's our annual sale. Every January and February, you get free stuff when you order. And so we have some exciting things coming up. Demonstrators can pre-order and pre-earn right now. And Stampin' Up! Went through a huge backlog of orders yesterday. I think everything from December 1st has now been shipped. Thank goodness. It was all hands on deck yesterday. I saw some pictures of Shelly Gardner and Sarah Douglas on the line helping to pick orders, which was exciting to see. So thank you to everyone who's ordered in December. It's been an amazing month so far, and I apologize about the delay in shipping, but your orders are getting worked on. I promise they're trying their best to get through that backlog. Today I've got a fun sneak peek. The item in this package, why don't you kind of give a guess? What do you think this could be? It is from the annual catalog. I'll give you a hint. Most of the gifts that I've been featuring are from the annual catalog. If you tuned in yesterday, you saw day 5 gift, which was the framed occasions stamp set. And so I made a couple cards in yesterday's video. And I gave you a sneak peek of the country floral designer paper. Do you guys remember that? Oh my gosh, I didn't get the matching stamp set, but you know what? The more I use this framed occasions, the more I feel like it kind of goes. Here's another card that I made. I used the paper again and the framed occasions, and I was trying to pick up the dots, which there's 3 dots in here, and there's a leaf to kind of go with the leaves. And so I used the beautiful shape dies and die cut that hexagon frame border, which is in here. So many different ways you can use this. We're going to make another card today using the framed occasions and what is in our gift number 6 package. And I have some other sneak peeks for you as well, including, do you want to see the sneak peeks first? Including the new small blending brushes and blending brush storage. Aren't these adorable? Let me show you one of our regular blending brushes. So just for size comparison here, these little ones are just so cute. I love them. And both the big, oops, okay, there's a little spot for the handle. Both the big ones and the little ones will fit in this blending brush storage. So I'm really excited to get this, keep my brushes organized, and you'll find both of these, the mini brushes and the blending brush storage, in this new January through April catalog. All right, guys, let's open up this gift. Let's get started. Maybe my sneak peek of the blending brush gave you a hint as to what's inside. Let's do a drum roll together. Are you ready? I'm not going to unwrap it. I'm going to save it. I have one more box to send out. I think I got somebody on my waiting list, so I'm going to give them an email this afternoon. The gift in this package is the Stampin' Up! Masking paper. Have you used this paper yet? I have to be honest, I haven't really used it a whole lot. It's kind of like a giant sticky note, and so you can use this for so many different fun techniques. We're going to use really simple and just do a strip of masking paper. And then I'm going to show you another way that you can do some masking with another new stamp set. All right, quick question we've said, let's see, it says, does the new blending brushes fit in our ink storage? Oh, that's a good question. It does look the same as far as like material. I've got a mess over here. I have some, I don't know if I have the ink pad storage, but I do have the stamping blend storage. Let me take these out really quick and just show you kind of the foot of it. I think it kind of does. Like, it would fit on top of your stack. Is that helping at all? I have, this is so dusty. Okay, do not judge, guys. And I have my kids' pictures glued to the side. Okay, so this is the tray. There's also a flat top, and it does look like this would fit probably better on the flat top, but it does fit the footprint of those trays that we have for the Stampin' Storage. So that's really exciting. I hadn't thought about that, so great question. Thank you for asking that one. Oh, I'm trying not to drop stuff. Okay, great question about this Stampin' Blending brush storage. All right, masking paper is what we're using today. And let me show you really quick in the annual catalog, because that's where this product is. Of course, it just goes with so many. You can use this with Christmas stuff. You can use this with new stuff. It's going to be back here, I'm pretty sure, near the adhesive page. Let's see. It's on page 149 of the 2022 to 2023 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog, and it's number 9, the masking paper. So it says, keep designated paper sections ink-free while coloring, using coloring techniques, also great for color blocking. 12 adhesive back sheets. They're 5 by 7, and there are 12 different sheets. Let's see, there's a sample on page 18. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. Page 18. I guess it's this one. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing. Where's the masking paper? Keep project sections ink-free, like this white border. Oh, I see. Okay, so the border is white. It's hard to tell because they've blended over it. They have a white border around the image, and then they are just coloring inside of it. We're going to do something kind of similar today. I have a piece of white cardstock that is okay, deep breath, slow down. It is 3 3/4 inches by 4, no, it's 3.5 inches. Oh my gosh, let's write this down. I'm going to mess it up. Okay. The white cardstock is 3.5 by 4 3/4. And I have a couple different pieces that are the same size. I just kind of like this size, and we're going to lay it on a piece of designer paper after we do our technique. All right, I'm grabbing out my grid paper, and so we're going to use that stamp set from yesterday. Framed Occasions. I promised you guys another sample. So we're going to use, I picked out some different stamps. Okay, and the colors from the designer paper. I like making a set of cards. So I have Balmy Blue, Petal Pink, Mossy Meadow, Mint Macaron, and Basic Gray. So I'm going to start with the Mint Macaron. Oops, I almost forgot about our masking paper. I had cut a piece. Did I lose it already? I'm losing my mind, guys. That's okay, we'll just cut another piece. Actually, yeah, it was on my paper cutter. This is just, I cut 1.5 inches off of the masking paper. And the masking paper is like a sticky paper, so it's like a Post-it note. And so I'm going to peel off both of the paper backings. You can die cut this, you can cut it. I'm just going to use it. It's just essentially like just a thin paper with a sticky backing. But I do find that sometimes it tears. So I'm trying to just take off some of the sticky on my hand so that it doesn't tear the paper when I take it off. It's still going to stick. It's plenty sticky, but I just don't want it to tear the cardstock. So I'm going to put this at an angle across our cardstock, and now I'm going to do some stamping, and I'm going to stamp kind of over the masking paper. And so I want to keep this section of my card clean without any ink. So I'm going to do a couple leaves, and I'm going to do some on this side too. I am kind of making sure that I push a little bit harder around the edges so that I get a stamped image all the way to the line. Next up, I'm going to do the Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to add some of this, looks like eucalyptus to me, and I'm just going to add some of those. And then we're going to move on to some flowers. I'm using Petal Pink for the big flower. And I want to incorporate some of this Balmy Blue since I made a new card that uses some of the blue. Oh my goodness gracious. And I'm going to add some of those flowers. Just kind of, it's okay if they overlap a little bit. All right, I think I'm going to, no, one more. I was going to leave it right there, but I think that's good. All right, now I'm going to use the blending brush, and I'm going to add some color. And just like with the big one, I want to kind of test it out on my paper so that I don't get a big glob. And I'm just going to do some light blending. I like using the blending brush with the masking paper because even though we have a nice line of stamped images, and we'll see with the reveal, I kind of just want to accent that line a little bit more with a little bit of color. So I'm using, you know, I maybe shouldn't have chosen blue. As I'm doing this, I'm realizing my flowers look green now. But let's see what this looks like. We're going to take that masking paper off, very gently peel it back. I was kind of going for like sky, like blue sky. We're starting to tear here, so I'm just going to switch and come from the other side and peel that all the way off. Like that. Isn't that really cool? I love how we have this design that is now just free of ink and images. And I'm kind of feeling like I want to try it again with a different color besides blue. Oh, but let's see. You guys are getting the idea. I'm going to stamp my sentiment in the space provided. This is from the same stamp set, the Framed Occasions. And so then I'm going to put this onto the blue designer paper. So I don't know. What do you guys think of the blue? Do you think it's too... Is it too much? Is it too blue? Maybe with the blue designer paper, it works okay. This designer paper is from the same paper pack, the Country Floral. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And so then I'm going to put this onto a white card base, but I will put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back first, just to pop it up a little bit. Oh, good. Okay. I'm seeing your comments come through. I know you guys second guess yourself. I do it all of the time. So I'm glad to see your comments come through that you like the blue. I think it would be really pretty to do a yellow as well. So if you are not liking the blue, you could try using a light yellow like So Saffron. I think that would be really pretty. Or even the Petal Pink would be nice as well. And you know what? Maybe we'll just try one really quick with Petal Pink. We can reuse our same mask and just kind of roll it back out and put it on our cardstock. And you can keep reusing these again and again as long as they stick, and they are pretty sticky, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about that. So let's start. We'll just compare. We've got 3 blending brushes, so we can just choose a different brush. And for the blending brushes, if you haven't used these before, you're just going to rinse that in the sink when you're all done. Just rinse it. I just use water, honestly, and get the ink cleaned off. It comes off really easily. And sometimes it stains a little bit, but it's not a big deal. If you wash it right away, usually you can get it all off. Our classic ink pads are all water-based ink, and so they usually come off pretty easily. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Going to add a little bit of that darker green. And I think we're ready for our blue flowers. Okay, do you think we should try Petal Pink or So Saffron? Leave a comment and let me know which color you think we should use for our blending brush. Petal Pink or So Saffron. We already have the Petal Pink on there, so I'm kind of leaning that way. And the yellow might even be too bright. I don't know. Susan says saffron. Tony says saffron. Hi, Eva. So glad you're joining us today. Watching from Florida. Oh, I'm so jealous. Who else is in Florida? Debbie's in Florida. Pale papaya. Oh, that would be really pretty. I chose Petal Pink because that's the color in the cardstock or in the designer paper. And so I'm just kind of sticking with those same colors. I'm seeing a lot of saffron, so we're going to try So Saffron here. So same thing, I just picked out a different brush and going to get rid of that first initial heavy color. And I love how soft that is. It's like a little ray of sunshine. Just kind of a little glow on our card. And again, it's just a little bit to kind of accent the line created with the masking paper. Nice straight line. That masking paper is so good. Oh, I love it. I feel like I had a little less of the stamped images on this one. It seems a little smaller, but that's okay. We'll do a quick, oh, it's so sweet. Okay, let's do a quick this or that. Do you prefer the blue or the yellow? And I really think it depends on the color that you put it against, right? Like if you're going to have a designer paper piece, maybe we use the a Petal Pink design instead. I wish there was a mint design, a mint macaron. I think that would be really pretty. Well, leave a comment and let me know which one you prefer. I want to do another card using the masking paper and some brand new designer paper that is available during celebration. So let me show you that paper and then we'll do another little masking technique here. And we're going to use the same size paper for this one. I'm going to set these aside just for a minute here. Let me get out this new designer paper. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. This paper is called Day at the Farm, and you guessed it, it includes farm imagery. We've got cows and pigs and sheep and ducks and chicks and vegetables, because that's what you grow to farm, and a big 12 by 12 piece that has this scene. The last piece is red plaid on one side and some animals that coordinate with the bundle. So this is the On the Farm bundle, and it has coordinating dies, and of course the dies cut the stamped images as well as some in the designer paper. Well, I was trying to figure out a card that would be good for a masking technique, and I saw the sheep and I thought it would be fun to do a whole sheet of sheep and then have one be black, right? Like there's always a black sheep in the family. And then I was kind of there wasn't a sentiment about being a black sheep. What do you guys think of the Day at the Farm designer paper? This is going to be a free gift that you can get during celebration. With a $50 order, you'll be able to choose this 12 by 12 designer paper pack. Down here in Illinois, we're kind of in the middle. In Illinois, we are in the middle of farmland. And so I don't really have access to like pigs and sheep and cows, but we do have cornfields everywhere. And so I relate to this paper in that way. Oh, it's your favorite. I love that. Okay, so for our sheep, I have the sheep stamp. I'm going to create some masks. And so I've got my masking paper here. And so the side that has the peel off is the back, and it's the other side that you want to stamp on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our mask. And we're actually going to create two. So I'm going to stamp two sheep. And we'll use our scissors. You know what? I suppose we could use the die and cut them out, right? The one thing about the die, I'm gonna use my scissors on this. The one thing about the die is if it leaves any kind of room around the stamped image, you know, like if there's a white border, I don't want a white border. I want the mask to be right up against the black line of the image. Now you guys might have done this masking technique before. It works really well if you have like a jar with flowers or a basket and you want to put something inside the basket and you want it to kind of stick out. So this works great for that. Now you'll notice I am not going to bother cutting around. I'm not going to bother cutting around the feet because, oh, I just tore that. Because I don't need the feet to be cut out for what I'm doing. I'm mostly worried about overlapping the back and the head of the sheep. And I'm doing two because of the way I'm going to stagger them. I'm definitely going to need to have two masks that I can move around. So I'm just going to trim just sort of that main part. And just like I was telling you before, I'm going to take this paper backing off and kind of get rid of some of the extra sticky on my hand. Because you could do this on your pants too, or on the paper, or on the desk. Like I'm just trying to get rid of the extra sticky so that it doesn't tear the paper when I try to peel it up. Okay, so it's really sticky, but it is a removable adhesive. It's not meant to like stay on there forever. Okay, so I'm going to start putting some sheep across the card. We're going to do a whole herd of sheep. So I'm going to stamp the sheep. I got ink on there. Let's just flip it over. All right, I'm going to stamp a herd of sheep. I'm going to keep them kind of tight here at the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to use my masks and I'm going to cover the sheep that I just stamped because I don't want to get ink on those sheep. And then I'm going to stamp another sheep behind it. Are you following? So I'm going to take one mask off and look, it looks like it's behind that sheep. Isn't that fun? I'm going to then move this to the other sheep and I'm going to do the same thing. This still has the mask on and I'm just going to keep moving those masks over. And filling the entire page, the entire piece with the sheep. Okay, so I'll do a couple more and then I'm going to show you the finished project. And see, I didn't bother doing the feet because my stamp doesn't go down far enough where I need to have them cut out. See what I'm saying? So let's go. Let me peel these off and you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So we have our herd of sheep and they all look like they're behind the other sheep. So that is the masking technique and that is another way that you can use the masking paper. Here is my finished card. I did color one of those sheep to be a black sheep and then I used some smoky slate designer paper to stamp From All of Us, which comes from the On the Farm stamp set. Now this red paper, again, I showed you came from the Day at the Farm. And so I just did exactly the same kind of technique where I just put that piece onto the designer paper to kind of highlight it. So again, this white cardstock is 3.5 by 4 3/4. And I think it's a great size to kind of take up most of the card, but still have a border underneath it. So you can still add some pattern and some texture from some designer paper without, you know, having to layer a whole lot. And if you wanted to, you could add another layer behind this or make your piece smaller. All right, well, those are my tips for using the Stampin' Up! Masking paper. I hope you like the card ideas that I shared today. If you don't have the Stampin' Up! Masking paper, you can get it in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. It's item number 155480. I'll have the link in the video description for you in a few minutes, so you can check it out, as well as the measurements for the cards that I made. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, this is part of my 12 Days of Christmas video series. If you're enjoying the video series, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos. I'll be live every day for 12 days. I started on the 5th and I'm going until Friday, December 16th, 1 p.m. Central Time, every day right here on YouTube. So join me tomorrow for a brand new video, but come a little early because at noon Central Time, we have a brand new episode of Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie, and we've got some fun card ideas to share with you using the Tea Boutique suite from the annual catalog. You're going to love it. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.